On Vice Chairman Reed for the approval minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I have gone through those, through our minutes. I haven't found any problems, and I move that they be approved.
I have a motion. I got a second? Got a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, is there any public comments? All right, let's move on. Next is a resolution declaring the intent of Rutherford County to consider the adoption of commercial property assessed clean energy and resilience C-PACER program. I'm going to call Mr. Batey up and let him explain this to everybody. Tip?
I've got Mr. Christiansen from TN with us. Just kind of let you know who he is. We've worked to present this for the county's consideration. We felt like a third-party administrator was the best way for us to go through this. So we went through purchasing even though there's no cost, and took RFQs for a third-party administrator. And TN Pace is the company through purchasing that we decided to use if we move forward with this to be our third party. So he is very, very familiar with this, much more than I am. So I appreciate him being here to kind of help answer questions as we go through that. So that's who Chris is, and we're glad to have him. But the C-PACER program was adopted by the state in 2021, and it is a program for commercial properties. It's not for residential, but it's for commercial properties, for water projects, energy efficiency, resiliency, renewable projects. In fact, I think there are 4 categories that fall under it: renewable energy, energy efficiency, water conservation, and for resiliency improvements. And the reason the county is involved in this is it is a special assessment that is placed on the property. The assessor doesn't have to do anything differently. We're not giving up any tax revenue. We're not obligating ourselves to any payments or repayments in case of default or anything else. But what it does is it legally gives this C-PACER loan equality with the tax lien. So this C-PACER loan actually has a position above the first mortgage. Most of these projects will have a first mortgagee. They have to agree for the developer to get the C-PACER loan. But that's the county's role in this, is allowing this special assessment that gives this lien a higher position than the first mortgage position. But we're not obligated to pay in any way. It can be used for new construction. It can be used for a rehab project. And I think actually a project that would qualify within the last 2 years could go back and get some additional financing, Chris. Is that correct? So someone could go back and do that. But this is done by third-party lenders. It's a commercial loan like any other. They underwrite the project, so they're making sure. Other lenders have to deal with it. The C-PACE loan by law can only be up to a total amount of 25% of the loan to value of the project. It has to be for qualifying items, so if they don't do 25% worth of qualifying items, they can't get that much. But even if the whole project were that, only 25%. And the C-PACER project, I believe, requires that the total amount lended against the project can only be 90% loan to value. That would be all of the mortgages loans stacked up. So that gives us a little more comfort that these are being underwritten. But it just allows for projects to go forward in our community. It makes them more efficient. And on new projects, I believe whatever improvements they make have to exceed the code requirements to qualify for this program. So it's not just, hey, they were going to do it anyway. This actually gets us some energy efficiency that is superior to what would have been done anyway, and it just allows for folks in our community to use it. We know of a couple of projects that are waiting for our decision that are interested in doing that, and so we just would like to recommend that the commission, this would be the intent to do it. What we would do, we would go through, hopefully, if you approve, we'd go to budget. What they approve, then would come to the commission, and then next month we would come back. This is the intent. We would have a public hearing, and then after that, make the decision to move forward with this project. But our proposal is that the third-party administrator does the paperwork for us, the applications, and so there's no cost to the county even from a labor standpoint because Mr. Jones's company will do all of that for us. So that's my presentation, Mr. Chairman.
So you're going to be the first on a mortgage. Someone asks for a mortgage, all right, and you get ahead of them.
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
And on each one of these applications, though, as Mr. Batey said, there is a written consent that is obtained from the mortgage holder.
Okay, so somebody comes with you with a blueprint and they're telling you they're going to do all this green energy efficient stuff. Do you inspect that? Do you have someone that goes out there and make sure that's being done?
We don't inspect it after it's completed. Certainly on a new construction, the normal course of permitting and zoning inspections would do that. But the full scope of the project up front, yes, we would review.
Okay, so if they tell you they want solar paneling or something like that, how would you know they would do that?
Well, so we have a full licensed solar contractor with a proposal.
Oh, so your own contractors would be doing it?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Understand.
Yeah. All documented. Yeah. All fully documented for sure. Yes.
I'm glad you have so much faith in humanity. It's commendable. Is there any questions? None? All right. Gentlemen, you have the resolution in front of you. What we need to do is we need to have a motion to send this to budget with our recommendation. So do I have a motion to do so? Do I have a second? Second. All those, let's do roll call. It's a resolution.
Commissioner Cush? Aye. Commissioner Beverly?
Yes.
Commissioner McAdoo? Yes. Commissioner Wilson?
Yes.
Commissioner Paul Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Reed?
Yes.
Chairman Harris?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Ted.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
We appreciate it.
All right. Next, we need to confirm the reappointment of Jerry Sartain for the Beer Board. This is a 3-year term from October 25 to October 28. Is Mr. Sartain here? All right. Do I have a motion to confirm? Have a motion. I got a second. Second. Got a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. Let's move on. Next, we have to confirm for Juvenile Detention Board. We have, this term is a 2-year term, August of 25 to August of 27. We had 3 applicants. So first one I want to bring up is, let's see. Ms. Woods? How are you? Welcome. Just face everybody, tell them who you are, what you think, and why you want to be on the board.
No problem. My name is Shalonda Woods, and first I want to thank you for the opportunity to be considered for the Juvenile Detention Board. It is an honor to even be in the company to be able to uplift our youth. I believe that every child deserves a free chance, a voice, a safe environment, and the opportunity to thrive. Children don't ask to be here, and they certainly don't deserve to be mistreated, overlooked, or left behind in a system that should guide them. With that said, I bring over 20 years of HR experience. With that experience, I have owned the ability to manage sensitive situations, evaluate things objectively, and find a fair and compassionate decision-making. And through coaching and mentoring, I've developed strong skills in active listening, balancing accountability, which bring out positive outcomes. As far as my experience, my volunteer work as a Rutherford County court-appointed special advocate, which is also known as CASA, provided me firsthand insight on challenges that the youth face with difficult situations. And so that has reinforced my belief that consistency and caring adults can make a lasting impact in a young person's life. But in that, I am not new to speaking for children. I've also served as an appointed parent advocate where I represented families and spoke up for equality in education. And that role deepened my understanding on how advocacy and collaboration can directly influence outcomes for children. So serving on this board is more than a position for me. It's a personal commitment to ensure that no child is forgotten, left without hope, or slips through the cracks. And so again, I thank you for this opportunity. I am Shalonda Woods, and I will be honored to serve on this board. Thank you.
Is there any questions? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next, Mr. Jernigan. How are you, sir? Introduce yourself, tell us who you are. And
My name's Larry Jonathan. I'm from up at Perth. I've served on several committees. I've been on the bill board. I've served on the agricultural board and the library board, and I've been on the codes and enforcement board. I'm a Rutherford County school bus driver. I've been one for about 18 years. I used to work at United Service Equipment, do sheet metal work for 30 years, and I appreciate anything you do for me. Thank you.
any questions? Thank you, sir. Next will be Ms. Tyndall. Is she here? All right, Ms. Tyndall's not here. All right, we are voting for one position. That is Ms. Tyndall, Ms. Woods, and Mr. Jernigan. So we are voting for one person. Go ahead.
Commissioner Beverly. Woods. Commissioner McAdoo.
Woods.
Woods. Commissioner Wilson.
Woods.
Woods. Commissioner Paul Johnson. Woods. Commissioner Reed.
Woods.
Woods. Commissioner Cush.
Woods.
Woods. And Chairman Harris.
Woods.
Motion passes.
Ms. Woods, congratulations. You will be voted by the full commission next Thursday, but you will go with our recommendation. Thank you. All right, let's move on. We need to confirm one vacancy for the industrial board. And let's see. We have two applicants. So I'm going to call up Mr. Talbert. Is he here? Come on up, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Just tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to be on the board.
All right. Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Tab Talbot. I'm applying for the opening on the Industrial Development Board. Some of you may remember I was here 2 months ago applying for this opening as well. You wisely chose Eddie Crossland over me at that time. No offense, but I'm back again. And I'm here applying because I truly do believe this is a board that my personal and professional background would add benefit to. I grew up on a farm in Blount County, 8th generation, and like a lot of folks, I was first introduced to Murfreesboro as an undergrad. And like a lot of folks, I just never really left. And, you know, when you grow up on a farm, if you know Blount County, it's had growth issues as well. Not like ours, certainly not. But when you grow up on a farm, you become very interested and aware of what growth can do to a community, both good and bad. And I really believe that the IDB is a crucial part of how a community develops and grows. And I believe that my background as a city planner, when I first started my professional career, and now in law, I've got a practice on the square. I focus on estate, business, and real estate law. And again, I believe that my personal and professional background would add a lot to this board, and I would appreciate the opportunity to serve. I'll take any questions if anybody has any. I'm sorry, should you say that?
That's okay. No problem. Is there any questions?
Question.
Commissioner Cush?
Yes.
Tab, where were you where was your 4 years of city planning?
Memphis and Nashville, yeah. So have a graduate degree from University of Memphis, did 2 years there, and then worked for a nonprofit called Cumberland Legion Tomorrow in Nashville for a couple of years.
Commissioner Phillips?
I see on your application, you did not fill in what district you live in. What district do you live in, and who's your county commissioner?
Yes, my apologies. It's Commissioner Beverly. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to fill that one out or not for bias reasons or some of that.
Don't know if you're supposed to fill an application out or not.
I filled it out the first time with it, but again, I wasn't sure if it was I didn't want anybody to feel uncomfortable if.
It's important because we don't want all members in the same district. So it's important that we kind of spread things around a little bit.
Gotcha, understood.
Not a big deal to me, and I'm joking with you.
Yeah, we.
If you're in Commissioner Beverly's district, you're in pretty good hands.
Thank you. I would agree. Yeah.
Any questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Ronnie Martin?
Steering Commission, good evening. My name is Ronnie Martin. For those of you all that do not know me, I grew up in Rutherford County, so a lifelong resident, actually from Smyrna. And I know Tab, and if you all choose him, you will get a good representative on the IDB. So just know that he's a great person too. But very interested in serving on the IDB. My experience in government has told me how important working partnerships are with all the local elected officials as well as city and county, and so I think that's really important to have those partnerships. I do have some experience with that as well as planning. Served on the Murfreesboro City Planning Commission for a period of time during my service as a city council member. But I'm a lifelong banker, been here a very long time, have a lot of experience in real estate, understand the hard decisions you all make as elected officials in balancing growth and economic opportunity for the community that you serve, and very much interested in serving you as a member of the board should you choose me. So I appreciate the opportunity to be here. And any questions?
Any questions? Thank you, Mr. Martin.
Thanks for
A quick question.
yes.
Ronnie, you kind of glazed over that. You were a member of Murfreesboro City Council
Yes, sir.
and the Murfreesboro Planning Commission.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, commissioners, we have one name. We have Ronnie, Mr. Martin and Mr. Talbert. We're looking for one person. Make roll call.
Commissioner Reed.
Martin?
Commissioner Johnson. Commissioner Cush.
Well, much like last time, we have two outstanding applicants. I am going to go with Ronnie Martin.
Commissioner Beverly.
Talbot?
Commissioner McAdoo.
Martin.
Commissioner Wilson.
Talbot.
Chairman Harris.
Martin.
Martin.
All right. Congratulations, Mr. Martin, and we'll be voting on you, the full commission, next Thursday. You have the full recommendation of the steering. Thank you. All right, let's move on. We need to confirm Ethan Conklin for Judicial Commissioner. Mr. Conklin's not here, but I had talked to him. He is on fall break. And so we're to confirm him. And do I have a motion to confirm? Do I have a second? Second, Mr. Johnson. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? All right, let's move on. We need to confirm 2 appointments for the Consolidated Utility District. These are recommended by the mayor. These are 4-year terms. I believe one is what, Craig Lynch? Craig Lynch and Carter Woodruff are the 2 that are being nominated by Mayor Carr.
Motion to approve.
I got a motion. I got a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? All right, let's move on. I need to announce 1 vacancy on the Board of Zoning Appeals, 5-year term, October 25 to October 30th. Next, I want to bring up the lobbyist report, Will Denami. Commissioners, I apologize. I ain't got my glasses. I'm struggling. I mean, struggling.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the steering committee. It's a pleasure to be here today, and I think I have some positive news to report. I want to start by thanking Chairman Harris for being available to me and being able to go over all this stuff that we've been talking about. The main thing we've been watching are the state revenues. As we've talked about the real estate transfer, what we've talked about, the most significant question that we have to answer is there money available for this to be done? We're not asking for an increase in the rate. We're not asking to raise taxes. We're asking for half of the tax that's being paid to remain in the county where it's paid. And so the question is answered first, is the state in a position to be able to give up that revenue? And so what I'd like to report, the first month of the year, the first month of the fiscal year for July, and I've already mentioned this previously, but I want to go over this again. The estimate, the amount of revenue that came in the month of July was $125.5 million over estimate. So for the first month of this fiscal year, that's $134 million over last year. In August, the second month of the fiscal year, $15.6 million over the estimate, and that's $57.6 million more than last year. So we'll find out September's number in a couple of weeks. It usually comes right around the middle of the month, so mid-October we'll find out. Hopefully, the state revenues are over estimate. They're continuing to grow in year over year. That's really important. The most important question here is, will the state have the money to be able to allow for half of the money to be spent on projects in the district where, or in the county where it's paid? One of the things that's happened last month, which is also, I think, helpful for the economy, is the Federal Reserve cut interest rates, as you all know. They're going to meet again at the end of this month, and they are expected, we'll see what happens, but they're expected to cut interest rates another quarter point in October, and they're going to meet again in December, and they're expected to cut another quarter point in December. If history is any indicator, we think cutting rates makes the economy stronger. The stronger the economy gets, the more revenue that comes in for the state. These are all very positive tailwinds that I think are going to be helpful for our cause. Since we last met, I was in a meeting with the County Mayors Association, and Governor McNally and Speaker Cameron Sexton came to let everyone know that they were in favor of this proposal as well. I was in a meeting with the governor, with the majority leader in the Senate and the majority leader in the House, asking the governor to put it in his budget. This month, October, is a very critical month in terms of budget development for the governor. What the governor told us is that he was going to be more collaborative than he's ever been with the General Assembly for his final budget. I'm very optimistic. If the revenue stays strong, if things continue going the way they are, I think that we have a very positive, rational, good proposal. If the revenue is there, I think we have a very good likelihood of this actually getting put in the governor's budget. That's what we hope. Now, Mr. Chairman, as you and I have discussed, we're asking for half of the 37 cents. So that's 18.5 cents. It is likely they're going to want to phase that in. They're not going to say it all in 1 year. It's likely we're looking at a 3-year phase-in. So be it. However we need to get it done, we'll be happy to get it done. So with that, Mr. Chairman, again, I want to thank you. Thank you for being available and working on this. This is, a couple of years now we've been working on this. This is not something overnight, but I think we're close.
Any questions? We all have some. So we're looking at, I would say roughly $9 million, or am I off a little bit?
I think that's a good average. That's a good.
So we could possibly look on the first round of probably about $3 million. And now, my question to you is, what is the time frame between round one and round two?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I think it will depend on the same question that is today. If the economic outlook continues, I think then we can see a steady phase in 1 year after the next. If there, I think just rationally speaking, if there's an economic disruption that happens, I think the second year will probably be on hold until the economy is strong. So I think we're looking at, we need 3 strong years in a row to be fully implemented. That would be, now, perhaps not, perhaps a new administration comes in and they want to just get it done the first year. So it is possible that it gets accelerated with a new administration that's coming in. I know that both, or all of the gubernatorial candidates, my understanding, are supportive of the initiative. So it is possible that it could get accelerated.
Yeah, and I know we talked to leadership. So I know that Senator Johnson and House Speaker Sexton, they're for it. So are you hearing anything as far as our delegation? Are you hearing anything as far as other representatives and senators supporting this?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So recently, where my discussions have been with the governor's office and with leadership in trying to craft the budget, my understanding is that more, for sure in the Rutherford County delegation that we have support, but my understanding is we have broad support all over the state. So I'm really not aware of anybody that's against it. I do believe we've got very positive support across the state. If that answers your question.
It's good. It's a good job, Will. Any questions? I do have one more. Sorry, guys, but I'm trying to, one of the things I've always said is about how I want to raise revenue. So have you heard anything, or is there any traction on trying to get interest-free loans from the gambling and school lottery funds?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So when you talk about the lottery education and what's called excess funds for lottery, the Constitution prescribes how that shall be spent. So it prescribes that K through 12 capital is one of the provisions that where excess lottery funds would go. I believe there is, we're over 20 years now into it. I believe there is the possibility in the future for that part of the Constitution to be fully implemented for the lottery program. There are other interests that are in play, which is there was basically a drop off in the lottery. Now they've gone online, so they have a new, I think it's a mobile process. I don't know. So, but I think we're going to see what happens with the lottery. Are the numbers more stable, or they continue to grow? If there are excess revenues, I do believe there is the likelihood of developing what that looks like. To your point, Mr. Chairman, could it be a revolving loan fund? Could it be a direct grant? How would it be done? All of those details are to be determined.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I'm concerned about is funding is such a huge part, and we're wanting this real estate fee more than anything. So I get that. Last thing, do you have your book that's coming out for us on all the bills that are out there that's pertaining to Rutherford County? Is that coming out, and when?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And yes, exactly like we talked about. So weekly, when the General Assembly reconvenes in January, I'm going to send a weekly list, a legislative update, a weekly list that's going to show you all of the different bills that we're tracking, all of the different bills that we're watching for amendments, for the bills the way they're drafted, and that'll be updated on a weekly basis. That'll start in January once the General Assembly reconvenes.
All right, any questions? Thank you, Will. Great job.
Thank you, Chairman. Thanks, guys.
All right, next is Sonya, HR report.
Good evening. So I think on First item on here is the active job postings. These are the ones that are currently active, and this just lets you have an idea of what we have out there. We have 8 separate postings, and you will see from that of those postings, 4 of them are for the sheriff's office, 1 is solid waste, 1 budget and finance, 1 juvenile detention, and general sessions judges. So just let you know what's out there actively, when it was opened and when it will close, and how many applications we've currently received. The next item on the list is we're going to do the other job postings. These were the job postings for the month of August, because this report is for the month of August. It lets you know what positions we had available at that point in time, how many we received, and of those postings, how many employees have been hired based on the number of applications that we received. Sometimes a posting will have multiple vacancies, and sometimes they just have 1, but that just lets you know what happened in the month of August. The next one is the vacancies. And the vacancies is active as of today. Pull the report, and we've input all of the new hires. And so this lets you see what positions are currently active. Some of these are in process of getting job postings, the ones that happened like today, and then the last few days, and so over the weekend. So some of those additional postings will be coming out this month, but that lets you know what's actively out there now in what department. The next item is the snapshot, and this is for the month of August. It lets you know what activities we had placed. So ADA, again, is the items that we use for our court system, or if someone needs assistance with signage or translations of materials for one of our programs like Recovery Court, probation, or any other program that we have in the county. Personnel changes, there were 48 different changes this month, whether it be demotions, promotions, transfers, 120-day reemployment for TCRS. There were 48 of those. We conducted 2 different audits this month, in the month of August, of benefits. There were 44 different benefits that were provided. Hold on, I'm losing my sheet. 44 different activities for benefits, and these range from anything of us doing Social Security applications, disability, working with individuals who need assistance, medical treatment for whatever reason, EAP referrals, those type things. Community involvement, we did 11 different activities this month, in the month of August. And events, we had one of our big events that we had, which was our Leadership Tuesday. That's where leadership in the county comes together. We had 44 different individuals participate in that, and we had 32 individuals come to our Medicare seminar. We had a seminar for pre-retirement planning. We had several individuals come for that. The HRS system is actually our hiring system. There were for August, there were 133 different activities. That's mainly just the back-end maintenance of the system. 195 employees are on leave. It could be medical leave, military leave, any of those things. 6 different legal activities. Those are part of the list that the county attorney sends, but it's also other items that we have going on, whether it be an ADA, EEOC complaint, those type things, personnel complaint. Offboarding, there were 56 different activities for that, and of those 56 activities, primarily was in the exit interviews and resignations, and those took over that. Onboarding new hires, we had 266 different activities, but with those activities was 38 new hires, and so all of the onboarding activities were related around those 38 individuals. 28 policy changes. These are job descriptions, some that we revised, some new job descriptions that were created, and also any policy changes. Cody York brought a new policy to the commission this last month. Promotional activities is local businesses who want to offer incentives to our employees. Recruitment, there were 1,552 recruitment activities, and with the majority of that being around the applications received, We also had 136 declination letters, 81 interviews, social media posts. There were 144 different social media posts were the big items. Under reports and surveys, there were 843 activities. The biggest items were our Title VI. We had 357 requests for Title VI, and that's assistance with language. And then we had 190 records requests in the month of August. We had some special projects. Those things are things that we do to make the county or our Human Resources Office provide services better for the county and also the community and the employees. So we had 48 special projects. Testing line, the testing is anything to do with a new hire, or it could be fit for duties if somebody's been injured, our random drug screens, any of those type activities. Training, we had 305 different training activities, with the majority of those trainings being around business ethics, drug-free workplace, sexual harassment, and Title VI, and also the employee handbook. We also had some financial seminars that employees participated in. The last item that is on there, I did not have an opportunity to cover this with Mayor Carr, so I'd like to run this by him before I bring it forth to the steering committee, and it's about an online application. All of our other activities in the county are online for our application process, and part of that process is so that we can get everything to finance quicker and faster. And one of the ones that we have the hardest time with is the boards. Oftentimes people start and we haven't even been able to get their onboarding information to get them set up in payroll. So then they're upset they don't get a check. So we're looking at some ways to ensure that they're set up in payroll before they begin their first day. But I want to run this by Mayor Carr before I bring this back before the committee. So are there any questions?
This, I know you're not ready to talk about it, but I just had a question. This would be specific to, example tonight, would like IDB board or beer board or somebody like that. This is not a regular full-time or part-time county employee.
Correct. It would just be the boards. And the reason why, oftentimes we get the applications and I'm not trying to be ugly, but we can't read them. And so then trying to contact people and get a hold of them. And then they don't understand why they're having to fill out paperwork. Well, we can't direct deposit without a direct deposit and without a voided check. And so there's some things that go in line with that. And so before I present this any further, there's some other things that we need to put in play that the steering committee would need to be approved, because oftentimes once you guys appoint them, they don't, they're not as responsive. We've got a board member right now, we've been trying for 2 months to get their information from them. So there has to be, we've got to have some assistance with that. So, but I want to, like I said, talk to Mayor Carr first. Any other questions?
All right, any questions? Need a motion to approve report? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioners, as you probably have noticed, Nick Christiansen is not here. I want to introduce you to Jason King. He is our county attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I could not begin to fill the shoes nor grow the beard that Mr. Christiansen has on display. So he has a much deserved break over fall break with his family, and we hope he's having a great time and safe travels. So I'm Jason King, work with Nick on many cases involving county business. It's my understanding that you have a list of our matters, some 20 plus perhaps in that range. I do have a couple of notes I did want to make, and then, of course, any questions, be happy to provide responses. You know that, well, at least on my list, number one was the Garber case, which has now been stricken through because we filed a motion that resulted in the plaintiff going away. So they realized that the law was not in their favor, and they have dismissed their case voluntarily, and we do not expect to see them back. Also, on my list, Number 9, late breaking news. This is the Rose case. This was a case involving a lawsuit filed with respect to a codes action where there was an unauthorized business. And I know that Ms. Sonya Bell will be pleased, and I think was pleased to learn that that case was dismissed literally Friday. The court agreed with our motion to dismiss that matter. They had sued the county trying to make some kind of arguments that they could continue on with their unlawful business. It was auto repair. So anyway, we also, in that case, the case is still existing, although they're not claims against the county, the case still exists because we countersued to enforce with an injunction the actual codes that are in play there, so that they cannot continue any business there that would be unlawful. So anyway, those are my only updates to the list that you have in front of you. So appreciate the opportunity, Mr. Chairman, to provide an update.
Any questions on the litigation list? Thank you, Jason.
Thank you all.
Good job. All right, Commissioners, we're at the end. Is there any new business? Seeing none, we're adjourned.